What's up, y'all? Occult Kendamas, and I'm here with another Kendama video. Today's video is a first impressions, kind of an unboxing of the Occult Kendamas jump shape. I've been lagging. The jump shape's been out for like a year, maybe a year and a half already, maybe close into 2, but yeah, this is Occult Kendamas' second shape, I believe. I have been sleeping. If you guys don't know Occult Kendamas, Jack is one of the coolest dudes ever, some of the dopest hand turn stuff, and then when he stepped into the China space, he was killing the game. Based down in the East, I love the East Coast Kendama vibes. You guys are super tight knit and all that, and Jack is a big part of that. Finally decided to pull the trigger at Battle of the Border. I copped one of these, and now I can give you guys some of my thoughts on this Occult Kendamas goodness right there. As you can see, the shape is super duper interesting. We got some nice beefy cups and serratos right there. As you can see, the cup angles are on the flatter side, but we still got a droop there. It's not completely flat. The tip is flat. That's kind of crazy, so you can probably border this out the box if you wanted to. The sword is on the medium side of things, which is really cool, and the biggest thing that this has that's different from so many other Kendamas is this slipstop area. Check out how chunky that ring is. I do not want to say anything about that ring yet. I want to test it out before I give you guys any thoughts. And then check out how chunky that handle saw is. That's a fat base cup. And then this thing right here is like a little massage for your fingers right there. It's definitely like interesting. Your middle finger kind of wants to wrap around that naturally, and then this will just rest wherever right there. I wouldn't say it's the most traditionally ergonomic Kendama thing. I don't hate it though, so that's a thing. The details on the Ken, we just have the OCK Occult logo right there, which is super duper sick. Just to compare it to some of the shapes that are out there right now, not that these are similar shapes, but just they're both so out there when it comes to traditional Kendama. I got a Lock Studios Deadbolt X right here. Big cup to big cup, it is slightly smaller, the jump shape from the Deadbolt X. Small cup to small cup, they're about the same, and then base cup to base cup, they're about the same. So the only thing that the Deadbolt X has on it is the big cup being just that much bigger, which is not by a lot at all. You can definitely tell that the Lock Studios Deadbolt X is a lot thicker, while this guy's a lot, not thinner by any means, but just slightly thinner. It's definitely on a medium side of sword. And then just check out how different, they're like cousins, it's crazy. Check how different those slip stops are. Very different approaches to slip stops right there. And then another comparison that we have is, I believe this is a bump. It does look to be that this big cup is slightly smaller, which makes me believe that this Spectraply is indeed a bump Ken. Again, small cup to small cup, definitely smaller, and then base cup to base cup. They're about the same size actually. That's kind of crazy. The biggest noticeable difference is the ring stalls. This one doesn't really have that dip versus this right here. You can definitely see that dip in the shadows. Obviously the serrato's a little bit heavier because of those cup enlargements. The sword, I like how this thickness is the same. And then also you can tell there's no bounce hole on this older one, and there is definitely a bounce hole right here, which is really cool. It definitely looks like there's a lot more material in the slipstop area, which I think is probably to make the in-hand feeling a little bit better than this. This was a little bit weird playing with this when I was playing with this, and then this guy feels like there's just a lot more material pressing up against your thumb. I have played with this shape before, but I haven't owned one yet, so I'm really excited to own one, and I'm gonna play with this right now just so I can give you guys some more continued first impression thoughts on it. So let me go ahead and string this up, and you'll go check out some tricks. All right, we are back from that mini sesh, and this thing is definitely interesting. This is a longer Ken, and it flips like a longer Ken. Not to say that this flips slow or anything like that, or is bad because it's a longer Ken. It just doesn't flip as fast as shorter Kens. That's just the physics of Kendama when you have a long Ken. It did have a very nice center of gravity though. It felt really stable when I was pulling trip Ken ups or trying to do late Ken flips and keeping it in that same plane that you needed in for those late Ken flips. Juggles felt really good on this and felt really fun. I wasn't too bothered by this area. It felt fine. It didn't feel crazy or anything like that. The slingers on this thing are actually pretty decent. I can say though, I would see if you got like a heavier Serato or kind of one of those spliced ones with heavier serratos, that it would be harder to do slings. But on this all maple one, the slings are doable. My threes were fine. Would I PR on this? No, I wouldn't PR on this. But the triples are good. Definitely a slow sling Dama, so take your time and really wrap your finger around those slings for this Dama right here. The stalls on this thing are probably one of its strongest points on it. The underbird felt really nice. I guess that angle is just super honed for whatever reason. And then, yeah, every other stall, the bird stall, the nightingale felt really, really good. Jack dialed those in. The handlestone ring stall might be the best handle saw or ring saw I've ever seen. The cool thing about this handle saw is that there's just so much area, so it's just sitting there. And then not only that, that little hump that you have right there is an extra contact point for the Dama. I don't know if you see that, but the Dama is leaning up against that middle ridge right there. Same thing for the ring stall. You can kind of see it there that the middle hump is kind of touching it, giving it an extra point of contact. Also, it's a little bit of fail safe. So if you hit it there, it will also just rest on that middle contact point. So you got a lot of wiggle room for your ring stalls that are really, really awesome and really, really cool. So shout out to the uniqueness of this slip stop and how functional the ring stall and the handle saw are on this thing. Lunars on this thing were pretty interesting. They're doable, they happen. I can see why there's a lot of spliced Serato versions of this. It's not bad lunar balance, it's just not the best lunar balance ever by any means. I would probably take out just slightly a bit more weight out of the base cup if we could, just because how big that slip stop is. But yeah, it happens. They happen. The adjustment points are good and stuff. If you're a well-seasoned Kendama player, this won't be bad for you or anything like this. The taps on this thing are super fun because of how fat this handle saw is. I feel like I just go forever on this thing. In terms of how aggressive or easy it flips back and forth, isn't like enhanced or anything by this shape, but because of how big this is, it's just, you can just go ham on it. You can just go ham on it and tap as hard as you want on it. So I think that's a really, really big plus for the taps on this thing. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, there's just so much room on this handle. Like if you have bigger hands, or I have, you know, smaller hands, but if you have bigger hands, I think you'll like how much space there is on this Dama. It's not like long, extra long by any means, like an Oni or anything like that, but for smaller than that Dama, it does have a lot of hand room, I feel like, and it feels really good in hand. So yeah, that's really, really cool about this thing. Not much else to say. It's definitely a unique shape, and I can see why a lot of people play it, because it does do those different stall tricks. It does excel in different parts of the Kendama, and it's really, really just fun and interesting to play. Especially if you have one of those splice ones. The Lunars are probably so sick on those. I've tried a couple of them, and they're super honed, but if you're like really honing in on one, it's probably amazing. So yeah, definitely good Lunars if we got the splice ones. Not much else to say about this. Jack has a bunch of stuff on the Occult website on this shape, some Ken only, some complete drops and stuff, so definitely go check them out. If you guys have a jump shape, please let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinions on this, and let me know if I missed anything, because sometimes I miss stuff, and that's totally fine. That's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe button, hit post notifications so you can be one of the first to watch these videos when they come out, and obviously sharing the video goes a long way for the channel. This is Elijah from Occult Kendamas, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!